Wake up. The alarm screams. You drag yourself out of bed to trade the best hours of your day for a paycheck that barely covers your existence. You call this life. But deep down, in the quiet corners of your mind, you know it is a prison. You are told that the way out is to work harder, to climb the ladder, to save pennies, but that is the great lie. The path to financial freedom is not paved with more hours of labor. It is paved with a fundamental shift in your understanding of reality itself. To quit the 9-to-5, you do not start by changing your job. You start by changing the architecture of your mind. You must understand that the universe is mental. This is the first great law. The reality you see around you, your office, your bills, your bank account, is nothing more than a solidified reflection of your internal state. As above, so below. As within, so without. If your inner world is dominated by fear, scarcity, and the need for security, your outer world will mathematically reflect that in the form of a 9-to-5 job that keeps you just above water. You are the architect, but you have been building a cage. Most people are unconscious creators. They let the thoughts of society, the news, and their parents dictate their vibration. They vibrate at the frequency of the employee. The employee sells time, but time is finite. Therefore, their income is finite. To achieve freedom, you must move from the plane of effects to the plane of causes. Money is not a cause. Money is an effect. It is a shadow. You cannot manipulate the shadow while ignoring the object that casts it. The object is your service, your value, and ultimately, your mental conception of yourself. You must learn to stand guard at the door of your mind. This is the discipline. Every thought of "I can't afford this" or "I am tired" is a seed. When you plant these seeds in the fertile soil of the subconscious, they must grow. The law of cause and effect is absolute. It does not judge. It simply delivers. If you want a different effect, you must provide a different cause. This is where the alchemy of the mind begins. You must learn the art of mental transmutation. Just as lead can be turned into gold, the lower vibrations of fear and servitude can be transmuted into the higher vibrations of power and creation. This requires the use of the master key, the ability to concentrate, not just to think, but to direct thought. You must retire into the silence of your own mind and construct a new image. Do not just dream of being rich. That is weak. You must build the mental mold of freedom with the same precision an architect uses to design a skyscraper. See the details. Feel the reality of it. When you hold this image in your mind, completely devoid of doubt, you begin to magnetize the resources, the people, and the opportunities necessary to manifest it. This is not magic. It is engineering. You are connecting with the universal mind, the source of all power. When you are stuck in the rhythm of the 9-to-5, you are disconnected. You are static. You are reacting to the world rather than acting upon it. Understanding the law of rhythm is your weapon. In business and in life, the pendulum swings. There will be high tides and low tides. The average person is a slave to this rhythm. When business is good, they are happy. When business is bad, they are depressed. To be free, you must polarize yourself. You must stand firm on the degree of success you desire and refuse to sway with the pendulum. This is mental stability. This is how you dominate your circumstances, rather than being dominated by them. The masses are swept away by the environment. The master creates the environment. So, how do you practically leave the rat race? You stop chasing money, and you start chasing problems. The magnitude of your wealth will be directly proportional to the magnitude of the problem you solve for others. This is the law of compensation. The 9-to-5 shields you from problems. It gives you a task, but entrepreneurship is the art of solving problems. You must vibrate at the frequency of abundance before the abundance appears. You cannot wait for the money to feel free. You must feel free to attract the money. This is the paradox that keeps the poor poor. They wait for the evidence before they believe. You must believe to see the evidence. Your current job is simply a result of your past thinking. It is a lagging indicator. If you want to change your future, you must cut the mental cords that bind you to the identity of a worker. You are not a worker. You are a center of divine operation. You have the power to mold the universal substance into any form you desire. But you must be bold. Fear is simply a vibration. At the lower end of the spectrum, courage is the same energy vibrated at a higher rate. Transmute your fear of poverty into the desire for freedom. Do not scramble to quit your job tomorrow in a panic. That is reaction. Instead, use your current situation as a training ground. While you are there, master your mind. Use the friction of the job to sharpen your focus. Build your vision in the silence. Construct your vehicle of freedom in the hours the rest of the world wastes on entertainment. Then, when your internal reality becomes so strong that it can no longer be contained by your external circumstances, the transition will be natural. The old shell will crack, and you will step out not as an employee seeking another master, but as a sovereign being who understands the laws of the universe. The door to your prison is not locked. It never was. You simply have to stand up, claim your power, and walk through it. The master key is in your hand. Turn it. Now we go deeper. You have grasped the thought, but thought alone requires the fuel of will to become manifest. This brings us to the great mental principle that most ignore at their peril, the principle of gender. This is not about physical gender. It is about the masculine and feminine principles within your own mind. To quit the 9-to-5 and build an empire of freedom, you must master this union. The objective mind, your conscious will, is the masculine. It directs. It chooses. It is the captain of the ship. The subjective mind, your subconscious, is the feminine. It creates. It generates. It is the engine room. The reason you are stuck in mediocrity is that your captain has been asleep at the wheel, allowing the engine room to run on the old programs of society. You must learn to impregnate your subconscious with the seeds of your ambition. You must state your desire for freedom not as a hope, but as a command. When the will and the imagination are in conflict, the imagination always wins. This is why you fail. You will to be rich, but you imagine yourself being poor. You must align them. The 9-to-5 system relies on your lack of energy. It drains you so that you have nothing left to create with. But energy is not lost. It is merely misdirected. You must reclaim your energy from the trivial. Every moment you spend scrolling, arguing, or worrying about things you cannot control, you are leaking the vital force needed to build your new life. You must become hermetically sealed. Keep your plans secret. Do not scatter your force by talking about your goals to those who do not understand. The pressure of containment builds power. Like steam in an engine, if you let it escape, it has no force. If you contain it, it can move mountains. Do not mistake silence for inactivity. This is the law of growth. The seed does not scream as it grows beneath the soil. It works in the dark. You are currently in the dark. Do not be afraid of it. This is your gestation period. While you still walk the halls of your job, you are secretly building a bridge to the other side. You are studying the markets. You are learning the skills of the new economy. You are understanding that money is simply an exchange of value. To receive huge amounts of money, you must provide huge amounts of value. The 9-to-5 limits your value to an hourly wage. Financial freedom comes when you detach your income from your time and attach it to your results. This requires you to step into the unknown. The unknown is only scary because you vibrate at the level of security. Security is a superstition. It does not exist in nature. Life is either a daring adventure or nothing. To make the leap, you must understand the law of polarity. Failure and success are the same thing, just different degrees on the same scale. To get to success, you must travel through the territory of failure. You must be willing to be wrong. You must be willing to look foolish. The employee fears mistakes because they lead to punishment. The entrepreneur embraces mistakes because they lead to data. This shift in perspective is the alchemy that turns lead into gold. You are not failing. You are collecting the raw materials for your success. Many will ask, but how? I do not know the way. The master key tells us that the how is not your business. Your business is the what. If you hold the picture of freedom with absolute clarity, the how will present itself. Channels will open. Ideas will flash into your mind. Coincidences will occur. This is the universe rearranging itself to fit your mental pattern. Your only job is to recognize these open doors and walk through them without hesitation. This is the difference between dreaming and doing. The dreamer waits. The creator acts. As you move closer to your freedom, the resistance will increase. This is natural. It is the testing of your soul. Do not retreat. This is simply the old rhythm trying to pull you back. Stand firm. You are the one who dictates the vibration. You are the master of the pendulum. Remember, the universe loves speed. Once you make the internal decision, the true, irrevocable decision, that you are done with a life of servitude, reality will begin to bend. It has to. It is the law. So, here is your final truth. You are not a body with a mind. You are a mind utilizing a body. You are a spirit having a human experience. The 9 to 5 is a small game played by small minds. You are called to a higher game, the game of creation, the game of legacy. It is time to wake up from the hypnosis. Look at your hands. They can build anything. Look at your mind. It can conceive anything. The keys to the kingdom were never hidden. They were just waiting for you to realize you were holding them. Stop asking for permission to be free. Declare it. Own it. Be it. The alarm clock will ring tomorrow, but this time, do not wake up to work for another man. Wake up to work on your masterpiece. Your freedom is not a destination, it is a frequency. Tune into it now and never let go. The cage is open. Fly.